much for joining me. This is an all-standing strength class. We'll be using dumbbells in this class, but you're welcome to use other things if you have them. I do have a chair here to put my weights on in between exercises, and our intervals today are 45 seconds on, 15 seconds off, 2 times through the exact same exercise. So it's kind of like muscular endurance because it's really almost a minute and a half straight of one exercise. The idea is you can add on more weight if you want in that second round, but it's pretty continuous, so you do you. After each round of 2 exercises, each set of 2 exercises, we'll have a 30-second break before we do the next exercise. Let's get warm. Step touch, arm swing. Good. You don't need a yoga mat today, but I do have it on the ground just in case I want to set my weights down. Good. Step touch, arm circles, back. Opening your chest muscles. Step touch, arm circle forward. Good. And now come to the center, side bend one side, up, side bend the other side, up. Pushing your hips in the opposite direction as your fingers reach. We will have a halfway break in class today, so that'll be a good time to grab water, but of course you can take a sip of water anytime you want. All right, and let's forward fold. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, tuck your chin, curve your spine down. Inhale, roll up, hands up. Exhale, tuck, curve down. Tractioning your spine 2 more times. One more time. And now hold down here at the bottom, wiggle your knees, relax your neck. And then slowly roll up, vertebra by vertebra. Good. Heels in, toes out, circle your squats around. So go side, down, side up, side, down, side up. Good. Rolling through your ankles, knees, good. Bottom of your feet. Here's 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great. Come on down, funky knee. Lift your heel, drop your knee to the center, engaging your inner thighs. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on up, knee circles. Juicing up our hips. Good. And now some butt kicks. Wide-legged. Good. Warming up our knees and our hamstrings. Great. And roll the ankle in a circle. Switch direction. Ooh, my ankle's a little tight today. Opposite ankle. And switch directions. Good. Interlace your fingers, press your hands away from you, tuck your chin like cat pose, and then lift up, arch your spine like cow. Exhale, tuck your chin, curve like cat. Inhale, lift up, arch like cow. 2 more. Exhale, belly button to spine. Inhale up. 1 more. Arch. And lift. And now release. Shake out your wrists. Good. 1 more exercise here. Crescent lunge twists. So we step into our crescent lunge. We twist toward our front knee. Come back through center and switch. Crescent lunge. Whoa. Twist to front knee. That's some balance. Good. And switch. Lunge. Twist. Up. And switch. Lunge. Twist. up, whoa, final times. Good, this is a balance challenge. And here we go, lunge, twist, up, and center. Good, okay. So we're gonna start right away with good heavy weights. We're doing our RDL, Romanian deadlift. I'm actually using a kettlebell for these because they're heavy, heavier than my dumbbells, but you can use dumbbells. So with a Romanian deadlift, we hinge our hips backward as if we're trying to touch the wall behind us with just our tailbone. A way to think about it is you've got your groceries in your hands and you need to close your door on your car. So you push your butt back to close the door. 5 seconds till we start. Shoulders back. Here you go. Knee bend softly. Good. Hinge at the hips to close your car door. You've got your heavy groceries in your hands. You might actually have your heaviest groceries in your hands here. The shoulder blades retract. The knees slide just a little bit forward. Good. Exhale down. Inhale up, or find a breath work that works better for you. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. We have 5. And rest. But once again, it's only a quick 15-second rest, and then we go back again, working on our muscular endurance. 5 seconds till we start. Ready, go. Good. And it doesn't matter how low you go here, we're just trying to push our glutes really far back. So if we're more flexible, our weights will go closer to the ground. If we're less flexible, they'll stay higher up our legs. As long as you're getting a stretch through the back of your leg, you're doing it right. $15 seconds. Oh geez. 5 seconds. And rest. Excellent. Whee! So we have 30 seconds off now. We're gonna do, I forgot about this, a heel lifted goblet squat. So you're gonna wanna grab something to lift your heels onto. So I'll be using a plate here. And then we have one hand weight at our chest. In 5 seconds, heels up, toes down, ready, go. Knees out over those toes, hips just over your heels. Good. Now, if your knees are happy with it, you can get quite low here. It's typically a bit of a narrow stance too, in between your heels, typically slightly more narrow. Good. 15 seconds. I'm already feeling the burn. Whew. 5 seconds. And rest. If you can go heavier, do it. You might find this feels more comfortable than a normal squat for you with your heels lifted. For some of us, that's going to be true. Ready, go. Now your tempo here could be down to pause, up, 2, down, 2, up, 2. Another tempo would be slow to the bottom, fast to the top, but that's really hard. Good. If it's too easy, mix up your tempo. Make the eccentric portion longer, and that'll make it harder. 15 seconds. Especially if you're limited with not very many strength training items, you can use tempo to make it more challenging. And one more, you're done. Rest. Woo. Okay. We're gonna have a sumo squat here. So we can go very heavy again. Your feet are gonna be wider with your toes face front. You can have 1 or 2 hand weights in your hands. Your heels might still be a little bit inward, and you'll hinge your butt back. Ready? Here we go. So for me, this looks more like a sumo deadlift, which is fine. My back is fine with that. If it bothers your back here, then you want to do a sumo squat, which is what I'm showing. It's just 1 weight now, and I'm keeping my chest nice and high. But if your back likes that deadlift, you can do that version instead. No matter what, I'm setting my hips deep down. The hips going down is the most important part. The spine stays long and strong. There's no waving in your spine. No wiggle. Good. Rest. Finally starting to get warmer. Good. 10 seconds till we start. Good. 5 seconds. Ready, go. Sumo squat or sumo deadlift. I think when we're doing this at home and we're using different shaped resistance items, sometimes it can look a little different. That's fine. It's a strength workout, so as long as you're focused on building muscle, using form and resistance, you've got it. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Whew. 5 seconds. Rest. Oh. Anytime we do a deadlift variation, remember not to curve your upper back. Okay, overhead press. So you'll have 2 hand weights, 1 in each hand. This is a stretch press. Our knees don't bend. In 10 seconds. Good. In 5 seconds. Hands up. Ready, go. So the traditional method is to have your elbows slightly externally rotated, which is what I'm showing here. But if you have a history of shoulder issues, you're welcome to open your elbows wider or to bring them in more narrow, whatever helps you get this overhead press. If you want to book a private training session with me, I can help you figure out what your overhead press should look like based on your body. And then you can do that anytime we bring it to class. Good. Keep your elbows in a straight line. Try not to let your elbows flare out to the sides on the way up or down. Rest. So my elbows are never further away from my body than my hands. My hands are always above my elbows at every point. Ready, go. And if you're not sure if you're doing it right, look in a mirror. Sometimes we feel like our body is in one spot, and then we look in a mirror and we realize it's not, and that's okay. Whew. 30 seconds. I'm going pretty slow here because my weights are quite heavy. You're welcome to go faster than me as long as you have good form. But again, if you work your tempo, potentially if you slow it down, it's going to be more challenging and build more muscle. 10 seconds. Good. 5 seconds. 3, 2, try to get one more. And rest. I cheated there. I bent my knees a bit and did a push press. It's okay. All right, so we've got a bent over row combo here. I'm gonna go slightly lighter. The first row is a neutral grip. The second row is a wide grip. So you're going to your hips, neutral, and then elbows out wide, wide grip. Ready? And go. Your feet are in parallel position the entire time. So weights to your back hips, and then weights to the side. Weights to your hips, weights to the side. Hands in line with your lowest ribs. Work your upper back. The more parallel to the ground you can get your spine, the more work it'll be for your back muscles. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And rest. Whee! This isn't a bad time to set your weights on a chair, but I've got the mobility to just drop down and rest, so I'm taking it. 5 seconds till we start again. Ready, go. Squeeze those shoulder blades. Neutral grip and wide grip. Rotating our hands at the bottom. Back and open. 30 seconds. To your hips, squeezing shoulders, and wide. Good. 15 seconds. Almost there, 10 seconds. 5. And rest. Oh, that's hard. I love back work though. Okay. So next we're gonna do a 1 1/2 cactus press. You might be doing this with really light weights. So cactus is out to the side. You'll be going up, halfway down, up, all the way down. But all the way is just that 90-degree angle, okay? 5 seconds till we start. Ready? Here we go. Up, halfway, up, all the way. If you feel like your back is arching here, you can sit down in a chair. That can help you feel the chair behind your back, can help you keep your form. Good. Halfway and all the way. Be careful not to go too far on that all the way. We don't want to rest. It's a full work round. Good. 10 seconds. Ah-ya! It's heavy. 5 seconds. Halfway. And rest. Oh. Ay-ay-ay. I need to shake out my arms here. 10 seconds till we go again. Good. This whole section of class is lots of overhead work. It's the overhead section. Ready? Go. Palms face front. So all the way down, up, halfway, up, all the way down. Lift, half, lift, all the way. Can you pull your rib cage down just a bit so that your spine is longer, straighter, and stronger? Ugh. Almost there. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Rest. Oh, whoo-wee. That was some effort. Okay. Next exercise is also an overhead hold. To make it more difficult, there's a weight in each hand. Less difficult, weight in one hand. And we're doing a mud walk, lifting our knees up. So I'm gonna stretch my shoulders before I grab that weight. Good. I'm gonna do a single weight in one hand, 5 seconds. Ready, go. I chose the single weight because it's my heaviest weight, but then in the next round, I'm gonna choose 2 different weights because it's gonna be more difficult for my shoulders to stabilize with 2 weights, and I wanna work all the ways I can. Notice the hands are not behind the head, they're directly above the crown of the head. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Whew. 5. Rest. Oh, dang. That was some work. Okay. Going again, same exercise. Good. 5 seconds. Let's go these ones. Ready. Mud walk, go. So even though this is a walk, it's not fast. It's called the mud walk because it's like you're walking through really heavy mud. Tucking your tailbone under, engaging your lower abs. Flexing your foot as you pull your knee into your chest. Whew. Try to straighten your elbows. Push through your hands. 10 seconds. 5. 2. Rest. Oh, nice. Okay. So we have a deadlift, and it's a unilateral deadlift. So option 1 is staggered with one foot just barely on the ground behind you. Option 2 is the full deadlift. I'm gonna warm it up, staggered, and then I'm gonna go lighter into a full deadlift. 5 seconds till we start. So let's all start left leg forward, right toes hovered. Here we go. They're not really hovering, they're actually on the ground, but we're trying not to put any weight on them. All our weight is in our front leg. Good. Exhale back, inhale up. Nice. Hinging hips straight back in space. Knees soften. Good. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Same concept as always with the deadlift. We send our glutes as far back as they'll go. 5. Rest. So I'm gonna go slightly lighter in my weight here because it's gonna get harder because I'm planning on lifting my right leg up now. You can keep this stagger if that's better for you today. Ready, go. So the thing here is that I gotta be careful to do a deadlift. I'm quite flexible, so I can just throw my leg back and end up in a sort of splits position, but I wanna bend that knee underneath my body so I actually have a deadlift. I don't need to bend it a ton, but I do need to bend it enough to where my glutes can slide backward. That's the point. 15 seconds. Try not to let your left shoulder drop toward the ground. Whoa. You can even cross your arm over your chest so you can feel if that happens. 5 seconds. Rest, that was hard. Good. 30 seconds off, and then we'll go to the other side. Start staggered again if you can. Or, just try to do what you did on the last side. If this leg is weaker though, it might look different, that's fine. All right, 5 seconds till we start. Right leg is forward, right hand has the weight, left foot staggered or lifted. Here you go. Glutes slide backward. That's just the most important thing to remember. Back foot is so light. Fifteen seconds. Five seconds. Whew. Feel it in my hamstring. That's where I want to. Rest. Okay. Second round. If you can add on some challenge, do it. After this is our halfway break. So go big. 5 seconds till we start. Ready, go. This one is also, it can become tempting to go really low. Find that yoga. I taught yoga yesterday. Go do that instead. Today is about strength. Keep your shoulders in line with your hip. No lower. We don't need to go that low. Good. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. Whoa. 5, 3, 2, rest. Amazing. Okay. You've reached your halfway point. Before you go, just give me a little shake. Shake it out. Good. So if that's all you have time for today, that's fine. You can start this workout from the same spot tomorrow. Just make sure you get a little bit of a warm up in because it is here recorded. Otherwise, I'll see you back in a moment. When we come back, we've got lunges. So it's a good time to take a break. See you in a moment. Okay. All right, I think we're ready to get started again. So this is a static lunge. You'll have your weight. You can have one weight or two weights in the hand of your front leg or both hands. So let's start with the left leg forward, okay? In 15 seconds, what do I want to use here? We'll use kettlebells. Good. In 5 seconds, left leg forward, right leg back, right heel is lifted the whole time. Go, lunge. Bring that back knee just to a hover off the ground. Try to think about sliding straight down instead of forward. Whew. Lunges, I believe, are one of our most difficult lower body exercises. Yeah, stick with it, breathe into it. Maybe 2 counts down, pause, 2 counts up. Just try to maybe take an equal rate up and down. Good, 10 seconds. 5 seconds. Good, 2, and rest. By the way, if you're in your lunge in a stance that's most proper, depending on your body, it could change. But anyway, it's like this. You can come down into a kneeling 90-degree angle. Ready? Go. Some knees are sensitive though, so if you take a slightly different form, that's fine. "30 seconds. Oh my goodness. Oh, 15 seconds. Oh, so feeling this. You hear my breath increase, that's my heart rate increasing. 3, 2, rest, 30 seconds off. Yeah, when we strength train, it does benefit our aerobic fitness because if we're doing it well, we're challenging ourselves, our heart rate's gonna jump up to send blood to the muscles being worked. There we go, building heart strength too. Right foot forward, in 5 seconds. Go. Opposite leg. Whee. Enjoy the burn. If you want to test or build that mobility, you can't bring your knee all the way to the ground. You just got to be able to come back up. Good. 15 seconds. Ugh. 5 seconds. And rest. Ugh. I gotta take a knee. So many lunges. So much muscle. So good for us. 5 seconds. Ready. Go! After this, we move onto or away from the legs for a moment. We got some bicep curls coming next, so enjoy this work. If you're finding this really hard on your back foot, you might need to work on your foot's flexibility. And another thing you can do is roll out the bottom of your foot on a tennis ball before you start your workouts. That can also help. 15 seconds. Your front leg doesn't need to straighten all the way. 5. And rest. Oh, ay caramba. Whee. That was some effort. I'm gonna shake it out a little bit. Next, we got a basic supinated bicep curl. Palms face front, pull them in. If you have a bench or a chair that doesn't get in your way, you're welcome to sit down for this one if you want to give those legs a bit of a break. We start in 5 seconds. Good. Ready, go. So power tempo here would be fast up, slow to the bottom. Fast up, slow to the bottom. Yeah, so when the part of the motion where our muscle is going from short to long, that's the part that we want to increase the time on. 15 seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, rest. Even with that tempo, that was a bit easy, so that means I need to go up in resistance. 5 seconds till we start. And go. Oh, okay. All right, that changed things. I might try 1, 2, down, 2. That's gonna just barely decrease the sensation of effort for me with these heavier weights. And once these become easy after a few more times of doing this workout, then I can bring the tempo into the heavier weights. So tempo can be like, instead of increasing that kilogram, you do the tempo, and that'll probably have the same effect. 5 seconds. 1 more, and done. Rest. Good. Woo, okay, so we're going into a basic squat now. Good job. Shake out your arms. For your squat, you can take that goblet squat position. It would be the same, just without heels up. You could have one weight in front of you. Just make sure your butt still goes backward. Or you can rest weights on your shoulders. That's my preferred method. 5 seconds till we start. Ready, and go. So set up your squat stance here. For most of us, that's heels just below or slightly wider than our hips. Make sure that your knees push outward. And make sure your knees do not lock at the top. 10 seconds. 5 seconds. 3, 2, rest. Whew. You can put your weights down. I'm just gonna keep mine on. Makes it a bit easier. 10 seconds till we start again. Good. 5 seconds. Ready, go. Sit those hips back. Good. Push the knees out. Inhale, exhale. Open your chest. 15. 10 seconds. Oh, these are so hard. Squats, man. They don't really ever get that much easier. And that's why we gotta do them. Rest. Oh, okay. Take those off. Good. Now, next, we need one single hand weight. I'm gonna stretch my back real fast. One single hand weight for a version of a pal-off press. So it just goes out and in. You could also call it standing chest press. This is a lot about your core here. Ready, go. So the goal is to keep your spine still as your arms come out front and then back to your chest. Keeping your knees softly bent, squeezing your shoulder blades together at the back. So when the arms come forward, we don't curve our spine. We keep it in neutral. You're going to be working your shoulders, but this is also working your upper abs. 15 seconds. Good. 10 seconds. We have 5. One more. Rest. That was a little bit easy, so I'm going to add just a little bit to it. I'm going to take these 2 plates and just stack them over. I might regret it. Ready, go. Always want to check our feet. Make sure we have that parallel position. Yeah, adding these weights on. Now I really feel like my core has had to start working. Ooh, 15 seconds. 10. Ugh. 5 seconds. Rest. Oh, those get to me after a while. Okay, let's work the back of our body with a rear fly, or reverse fly. So, we go very light in our hand weights here. We have our bent over position. Our elbows lift in line with our shoulders and we lower slowly back down. You don't need to bring your hands higher than your shoulders, or your elbows, I should say. Ready, go. Up, pause, down, nice and slow. Up, pause, down, nice and slow, nice. Lift, pause, and down slow. Keep going. Good. This is one of my very favorite work exercises. I love to get into my upper back. Good. Lift, pause, 5 seconds. Good. Lift, pause, and and release. Roll the shoulders out, maybe relax your weights, shake your grip out. We got another round of that in 5 seconds. Ready, and we're off. Also, make sure that your hands are in line with your shoulders. We tend to bring our hands forward towards our ears. We just want to keep them in line with our shoulders. And as always, when we bend over, our knees are softly bent. "15 seconds. "5 seconds. Release. Whew. Okay. So your next exercise is triceps. I'm going to go with an overhead extension because my shoulders have the mobility for that. If yours don't, you can go to your tricep kickback. And you can also do it in a supported position if your back is a little fried. So you can do one arm for the first round and then the other arm for the next round. Make sure your elbow stays high. 5 seconds till we start. Ready, go. So I have the overhead extension going on here. But look, my spine is neutral. My spine naturally has a little bit of an arch in it, a little bit more actually than a lot of people. So I have to tuck my tailbone in ever so slightly, and then I've got a nice, safe, supported spine. We want to try to avoid any overarching of the back when we have resistance, especially over our head. That's just an easy way to damage our spine. 10 seconds. 5. Rest. Okay, I hate to admit it, that was a little easy. So, what could I do? I could change the tempo, slow down, fast up, or I could add resistance. Ready, go. So tempo would be 3, 2, 1, fast up. That could be a tempo. And you can also add a pause at the end if you really want extra credit. That's a little bit too much with me with this resistance, so I'm going to switch to 2, 2. Same count down, same count up. 15 seconds. Ugh. Ow. 5 seconds. And rest. Good. Okay, so our final exercise before we stretch is also for our core. So you're going to take hand weights in both hands. You'll just hover them above your shoulder and you'll cross your knee to your opposite elbow. Don't worry too much on the form for this. I just want you to try to engage those belly muscles. So I'm going kind of light here. Good. 5 seconds. Just holding them up, even resting the bell on your shoulder. Go. So draw that tailbone forward and cross your rib over toward the opposite hip. It's like our mud walk, but we got that twist. Exhale. Exhale. Good. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5. And rest. One more round there. Final exercise in class. Try to even out your knees. So notice which knee you start with. Make sure you end with the opposite. 5 seconds. Ready. Go. Take your time. Find the suction cup sensation in your core. 15. 10 seconds. 5. 4. Rest. Whee! That's great. That's good. So we have our chair here. Let's use it to stretch. Congratulations, by the way. You've done it. You can now relax. So turn your chair to the high side. Walk away from it and stretch your chest and shoulders. Knees softly bent. Let your chest fall to the ground. And now let's switch. Let's tuck our tailbone under. Push our hands gently into the chair. Curve our chin to our chest and stretch our spine in the other way. Good. And now step toward the chair. Keep your back heel down, stretching through your calf muscle. Cross your hand to the opposite side of the chair and rotate open. We're rotating toward our front knee. Good. Come through the center, step to the back, take a little stretch, and then switch. Opposite foot forward, back heel is down. We stretch toward our front knee. And now come on in. Turn to face the side of your chair, feet straight. Hand on the chair and lean toward it for a side body stretch. Good. And come on up. Using your hand or a towel or a band, grab onto your toe, stretching quadricep. If you want to challenge your balance, bring your chair hand to your chest. Good. Building strength, building bones. It's one of the greatest benefits of our strength classes. They build bigger bones too. And switch. So we'll switch sides. I'm going to turn away from you. Feet wide-ish, slightly wide. Lean toward the chair. And come on up. Grab for your back foot with anything you can. Your hand or another tool. They both work fine. Good. And release. Great. Come into the center and let's draw some nice circles with our hips. And switch sides, kind of loosening up our spine. Great. Take one arm behind your head, pull your elbow down, look away from it. And now open and switch. And release. Very nice. Okay. Let's take our breath. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Give yourself a bow. You have completed a challenging strength class. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like it. Make sure you get some protein and fiber within 30 minutes of this class, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.